Hey guys, today we're looking at the ESCI release of the German Paratroopers, sometimes labelled Green Devils. These are currently being done by Italeri, but these ones were from an original ESCI boxing way back. I think I purchased them and painted them up about 1997. So they're down from the attic to be retouched because they're going to be used in a war game fairly soon, and there's a few little nicks and scratches and bits and pieces on them that I just wanted to tidy up before committing them to the table. Now, obviously, these are kind of an old set. I don't have them on the sprue to show you, although I do have one or two figures that weren't painted. So basically just wanted to talk to you about the figures and see what you thought of them as regards the poses rather than my rather mediocre paint job. The paint job initially was supposed to be sort of Normandy-esque, but I was kind of matching in with the colour guide from the Revell Fallschirmjager, and I sort of just mixed and matched a small little bit there for a bit of variance, so that's why you have some of the lighter smocks there and some of the camouflage ones together. But that was basically the reasoning behind that. A little bit of experimentation as well. As I say, this is over 20 years ago, so I was kind of new to the whole painting figure thing at that point. So basically the situation with the ESCI Paratroopers is basically that they're quite dull as regards poses. Sculpt isn't too bad, but has a couple of glaring problems which we'll have a look at in close order if I can just get this to focus. So at the end here we have a Panzerfaust. It doesn't look too bad, except the Panzerfaust, as far as I'm aware, isn't fired like that. You have to have it kind of more maybe tucked under the arm or that. Putting it on the shoulder apparently isn't the correct procedure. This guy here next to him, he looks like he is looking at a magazine or a German potato masher, Steilhandgranate. And he looks like he's never seen one before. He also has no magazine in his MP40, which is kind of strange. This guy here, a little bit flash heavy, but looks okay. He's got his Car 98 and he's kind of trudging along, so not the worst. This lad here has his foot in an ammunition box, no magazine in the MP40, kind of a nonchalant pose. Not so great for wargaming, could be alright, but you know, a bit dull. This guy here looks like he's kind of lost and doesn't know what he's doing, but not the worst of the bunch. And this lad here, I suppose, is probably an officer. He's waving his MP40 in the air, looks a little bit unrealistic. This lad here has what looks like a Sturmgewehr, STG 44 or MP 44, depending on the variant. And again, no magazine in the weapon for some strange reason. This lad here has a Car 98 rifle and interestingly enough has a telescopic sight. Now you got I don't know, was it about 6 of these guys in the maybe 3 or 4, about 6 anyway, I think, of these guys in the box. So they all had a sniper scope, or a telescopic scope should I say. And then you have this guy here, who again isn't the most exciting, just holding a Panzerfaust. Yeah, okay. Now it's nice to have figures that kind of aren't always in the combat poses, but at the same time, you know, a little bit of movement would be nice. Then you have another guy kneeling again with a scope on the Car 98, and this guy kind of throwing a grenade. Doesn't look great, I don't think myself. You can see there where the paint is nicked off his rifle and stuff. That's the reason they're down here actually, is because as I say, just doing a little bit of a touch up. So there was also a couple of poses which had MG42s, and they were so bad I didn't use them. To be honest, I don't even have them anymore. They were just guys standing around. One of them actually had the barrel of the MG42 in the ground, and he was resting his arm on the butt of the gun, which, like, if you've ever used a firearm, you know that that's just don't do that. As I say, a little bit lazy in the sculpt. The ultimate laziness, however, is depicted in these two guys. So if you have a look there, you'll see they're basically the same pose. Alright? The only difference being that the ammunition pouch has moved from one side of the hip to the other. That's it, really. You know, bit of a lack of imagination there, to be fair. So that's those guys. This was kind of the plastic they were sculpted in, or released in, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what Italeri are doing them in at the moment, because I won't be getting another set of these lads anytime soon. So I mean, the sculpted detail isn't the worst. As I say, it's you know, kind of technically well executed, but very boring, to be honest. It would have been nice if they had a little bit more life in them. So it's a bit of a shame, really, that they didn't do a little bit more with those guys. Now I do use them. Obviously, I've painted up several of them. These match in with a kind of a mix and match battalion, which is made up of Revell, Airfix, 3 or 4, about 6 white metal cast pieces, and these lads. So you know, it's not that I don't use them. I do, but as I say, they're a little bit limited. I don't know. They don't kind of really float my boat. At the same time, there's 1 or 2 useful poses, I suppose, really. But at the end of the day, there are much better ones out there, which we'll be reviewing fairly soon. Some of the Caesar range, there's 2 or 3 sets from those in German Fallschirmjagers that we'll be dealing with. And there's a box or a set by Orion, which isn't too bad. So we'll be dealing with those lads fairly soon in coming reviews. But that's it, guys. That's my very quick look at the ESCI and now Italeri German paratroopers for World War II. One fell over there, man down, one came up. Just so you can have a quick look at them. As I say, the paint job, please excuse that, that's as I said, 21 years ago. And you can even see a little bit of the what's that, Citadel, was it Flesh Wash or something it was called, used in them. It gives them a kind of rather sunburnt appearance, but hey, there you go. And that's basically it. As I say, down for a touch-up, just to kind of recondition them for a campaign that's coming up soon. So that's basically why they're here. But that's it, lads. Have a look, see what you think of any other videos. Like and subscribe if you would, and we'll talk to you again. Take care, bye-bye.